episode of Super Chap, episode 19.
19. I can actually include that in now.
I guess first things first, we're gonna jump right into the movie news. One quick thing was the Jim Parrack thing, or Parrack. I'm not sure how you say his name. It's the dude from True Blood that everybody was saying was going to be Deathstroke. He apparently is not going to be Deathstroke.
Who's he gonna be?
Jonny Frost.
Who is that guy?
He is a henchman of the Joker, apparently, from the comic
So,
books.
in the flashbacks, probably. So he's gonna be talking with Mr. Leto then.
Yeah, I'm imagining he's going to be with Leto in that crazy heist thing that they show in the trailer with the eyeball guy and the Batman face man.
This could be good, man.
Could be good. This movie's definitely going to be weird, though.
It'll be something. It'll be something.
I had heard that he was supposed to be Deathstroke a real long time ago.
Right.
And that he was replacing Joe Manganiello.
Yeah.
So I wonder if Joe Manganiello was up to play this character, Jonny Frost, and he had to not do it. Because when the rumors came out about him playing Deathstroke, he said, "No, I was up for a thing, but it wasn't that character, and I couldn't do it because of this other yada yada."
What's he doing, man? He should quickly hop on one of those superhero things.
Yeah. He was almost Superman. Just barely almost Superman. Second up, let's move these around. Let's talk about the Mortal Kombat thing first.
Alright, Mortal Kombat news.
James Wan is attached to be producing a reboot of the Mortal Kombat series for the movies, not connected to the web series and also not connected to the
original ones.
old movies.
This could be a good thing.
It's only to produce, though.
Not to direct. Now, R18 needs to be that because it's it's the game itself is, it's
We couldn't get fatalities ever.
exactly.
The old movies didn't have fatalities.
No.
At least not real fatalities. They
Not
were
really,
all
yeah.
sissy fatalities. The closest thing to a real one that we got was when Shang Tsung gets thrown in the pit.
Yeah,
and has
but
the spike through his chest or whatever. That's probably the most legit one. And then Scorpion goes for the breathing fire out at you thing, but
Yeah.
he fails and then gets his head chopped in half with a shield. Random.
that was dumb too. Let's just kill one of the coolest aspects of your film.
Yeah, with a shield. So that was kind of bizarre.
But yeah, it's not attached to that. So this new one, I think it should be R18 so
They
that we
said
can
it's
actually.
going to be a departure from the lore. So I'm wondering if that means they're going to do it like
So this is like a side. Like you can even consider this as a side story
Right.
because
I
the
don't
Mortal
even know
Kombat
side
universe.
story. I think it's going to be a
Spin-off?
different take on Mortal Kombat.
Okay, yeah. The premise is the same, just a different.
A bit closer, maybe, to what we saw in that weird short film where the dude had Harlequin disorder.
See, I think that's dope if they do it that way.
Yeah, that'd be pretty.
Because it's almost like you're paying tribute to what is Mortal Kombat. You're basically putting a spin on it.
Would you want them to do something like that, or just stretch that into a movie?
I'd do something like that. I mean, sure, some of those actors could probably play those characters to a T. But, I mean, just different opportunities for new people out there, I suppose.
Had Michael Jai White as Jax.
Yeah, just get him. He's great for it.
Remember in Johnny Cage was a Power Ranger, former Power Ranger?
I thought that was cool too, dude. Because he actually was in Masked Rider. That's fucking perfect. That is fucking perfect.
Yeah.
That's too perfect, dude.
It was pretty
They
great.
should bloody do a superhero like that, man. A superhero is like an martial artist, Sentai type show, but he actually becomes a superhero. Like legit superhero in the actual world. Which is like weird because no one would have believed him. It's like, wait, so you were once playing this, fake superhero on television, but then when shit actually got crazy in our real world, you became a hero randomly.
It's like that one dude in the Spider-Verse who is just an actor that plays Peter Parker in the Spider-Man show, but then he ended up having to actually fight in that big web.
That must suck balls.
But it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, that's crazy. Cause that's like, all right, current Spidey. Let's go with him.
Mm-hmm.
He gets thrown in a world where everyone looks like him. Everyone that looks like him is actually Peter Parker. With abilities though, different versions of it, and he's like, I was just fucking hired to play this guy.
Mm-hmm.
This is insane.
I think they did that on the animated series one.
Mm.
But now that we got that out of the way,
Random.
let's get to the important stuff.
The first one is
Fantastic Four.
Oh, we're gonna go to that. Oh wait, that
Didn't do great
Nah.
over the weekend.
Nah. When people were saying Ant-Man,
Yeah, people were saying, "Oh man, Ant-Man is like Marvel's first flop because it only made
57 million
and
in its first
Fantastic
weekend.
Four took in 26.6 over the weekend, which is not
Good for Fox.
no, not good.
Fox, I don't know. And like, what's this year? What has Fox released that has done
Days of
really
Future
well?
Past.
Okay.
That's the only one I know for sure. What other movies did Fox put out this year?
Terminator.
But that also tanked, didn't it?
Exactly. What else have they released? Actually, it's almost like I don't care about Fox stuff.
Fox movie releases for 2015. Agent 47 isn't. That's not out yet. It's not out yet.
Yeah, like next week or something.
These are the ones that are on the way, I guess. Still just for 2015.
That didn't show what's happened early 2015.
I have to go back and see if they have that as well. But this is what's coming up that's still left for this year
Okay.
from Fox.
All right.
Hitman, Agent 47.
That's next weekend.
Yeah. Maze Runner, The Scorch Trials.
Oh, that's them?
Yeah. The Martian. That's the.
Oh, shit.
The
Yeah. It's Matt Damon.
Yeah.
On Mars. I was going to say the moon.
The Peanuts movie.
That's this year?
Yeah, that's November 6th.
They need to start advertising.
Yeah. Victor Frankenstein.
What's that?
It's just, another Frankenstein movie.
Why? Who's in this one?
It is Daniel Radcliffe, James McAvoy,
What?
Freddie Fox, Andrew Scott, Jessica Brown Finlay. It's written by Max Landis and it's directed by Paul McGuigan.
Max Landis. What are your thoughts on him?
I don't know, he's the dude. But, I mean, it's his take on Frankenstein, so that's probably going to be weird. But it's got McAvoy in it.
Yeah, he's cool. And Harry Potter's in it,
Harry
and he's
Potter.
cool.
But anyway, so that's November. Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Oh, the reboot, right?
No, this is Alvin and the Chipmunks, The Road Chip.
Why are they still doing these films? What the fuck, man?
People are clearly going to see them.
Really?
Because it's not straight to DVD. They're putting them in the theater.
This is insane. That means people are still fucking paying to watch this in the cinema.
I don't know.
This is crazy.
Joy. Not sure what that is.
I have no idea what that one is.
The Revenant. That's the crazy one that's all natural light with...
Oh, the one where everyone's going ape shit.
Yeah. And that's it for this year. And then...
That's all Fox?
Yeah, and then they've got a whole slew of crap next year.
Then again, we can't really say, like, when you think of it that way, Fox, okay, they lost a lot in this one movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure they make tons back on other films.
Yeah.
Does it? I mean, I know it doesn't all balance itself out as a studio. Does it, though?
I mean, I think it kind of does, and that's why they slot them the way that they do. But I think that they're counting on all
Each
of these
making
are gonna
bank.
do well.
Absolutely.
Like, just for the beginning of 2016, we got Kung Fu Panda 3.
Wait, who's that one?
These are all still Fox. Kung Fu Panda 3.
DreamWorks is Fox?
I don't know. This is 20th Century Fox
The
release.
fuck? Yeah, okay.
Deadpool right after that.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. Keeping Up with
Is that a
Jones.
sequel to something?
I don't know. Keeping Up with the Joneses. Eddie the Eagle. X-Men Apocalypse. Independence Day Resurgence.
Ah, shit. Next year?
Yes, next year.
For real already?
X-Men Apocalypse is end of May, and the new Independence Day is end of June.
That's insane, dude.
Yeah.
Royce, we're getting a fucking random sequel
Yeah.
to ID4.
I know.
Why?
Because nostalgia.
This is insane.
That's when I was in 5th and 6th grade, so...
You know how we're kind of going through the whole, like, Hollywood, I say we, as in we're part of it, right? You know how Hollywood's going through this whole, like, it's kind of recycling things in throughout time, right? Throughout the past. But they kind of go in cycles of decades. Sometimes some skip over, whereas some get held back a bit. Because, I mean, we're just getting the Ghostbusters reboot now.
Right.
And that's, what was that? That was in 80s.
But it's, it's late 80s.
Late 80s, okay. But then we got ID4, which is very 90s.
But 90s is what's nostalgia right now.
What other 90s films do you think they'll be redoing now? Or doing sequels to?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
That was rebooted, absolutely. That's a great one.
That's definitely 90s.
Mortal Kombat reboot.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat.
That's 90s. What else? I hope that ain't The Fifth Element.
If you think about it, X-Men Apocalypse, Age of Apocalypse was 90s.
Which one?
Age of Apocalypse.
The what?
The comics.
Oh, yeah, of course.
That the story
Oh,
is
yeah,
going to be...
that's pretty good. This is not really the Age of Apocalypse, though, is it, this film?
No, but look at what they're basing those X-Men on. The Jubilee and all that.
Do you think that's
stuff.
what they'll do with the X-Men after this?
I think
that the universe that we see...
look like 92
that the universe that we see in Deadpool is the Apocalypse's universe?
No, I think everything is too regular looking. There's like
that's true, unless of course like that's what it actually became.
No, I think this is the whatever happens in Apocalypse will reset things.
Ugh.
But yeah, so that one's coming up. Right after that is Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates.
Oh, that's the comedy.
Yeah, I heard about that, but I can't remember what it is now. The new Ice Age film. Because they're
oh
still
yeah, that's right. That's right. That's quick though, dude.
Yeah.
They must have had this shit on the production quite a bit ago,
or
it's just that easy for them now.
Right. I don't know what A Cure for Wellness is, but it sounds familiar. Then Gambit is next year as well.
What month?
October.
Oh, they got a little over a year.
Then right after that is Trolls. I'm not sure what that is.
I hope that's a sequel to all those troll movies.
Right. And then Assassin's Creed.
That one, I don't believe, man. They haven't even started filming yet and shit.
They've started lining up cast and stuff, so it seems like it's right around the corner.
Guess.
But yeah, so they've got a pretty busy schedule, and they haven't taken Fantastic Four's date down yet.
Man, they still might do that sequel.
Yeah, well,
They still might. I mean, sure, not based off this first weekend of 26 mil.
There's an untitled Marvel/Fox movie for July 13th.
X-Force.
It could be X-Force.
Depending on how well Deadpool does.
Yeah.
X-Force.
That'd be pretty neat. So anyway, now that we've went on that giant tangent of what shit's coming out, Fantastic Four did garbage.
It did.
And now that that's out of the way, we've seen it now.
Yeah.
So let's get into the nitty gritty of this and get it over with.
Well, we've heard many reviews. Like a handful of reviews.
Yeah.
Everyone just said it was just horrible. Some said it started
not
well.
Good,
yeah.
But it's still the best Fantastic Four movie so far.
which is sad.
Do you agree with that sentiment?
Yeah, I could say there were, of course, there was like aspects of the previous two that weren't garbage. Like I was saying before, like most of the scenes with Silver Surfer, I thought personally were dope. I thought he was sick, Silver Surfer. He's
Right.
wasted,
Yeah.
wasted that. But I can't like that's really it for me in those films. This one, I thought I had a lot of promise, man. It started off actually decently.
I really liked the opening.
The opening was as kids.
Young. Yeah,
That was fantastic.
I thought that whole segment was great.
Yep.
It made me instantly go like, "This would have been like
Mm-hmm.
a cool thing." But
Yeah, exactly. It's like that would have been sick. Random age, time skip. Where
I
it was.
don't understand. Okay, so let's go ahead and say real quickly our summation of if
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah.
movie is good
Before
or bad.
spoilers,
So we can talk
before
about
spoilers. If you're a fan of Fantastic Four,
Yeah.
you probably would have watched this already.
Right, and if you're a fan of Fantastic Four, you probably didn't like it, I would imagine.
I'm sure, depending on what kind of fan you are, obviously. Like, some fans will actually try to look for the best in something. It's kind of like the Transformer movies. Some fans loathe those series,
Right.
but some will find aspects that they enjoyed. And I'm sure some fans of Fantastic Four would find aspects that were like, oh, that was cool. But in terms of, like, should we recommend this to people? Not in the cinemas.
How does it stack up to superhero movies that are not Fantastic Four, though? Like,
Okay. Basing it on not just the merits of other Fantastic Four
Right.
flicks, but is in superhero flicks in general. Like our recent Ant-Man recent film.
right, how does it stack up to Ant-Man, in your opinion?
Not that good.
No.
No.
Ant-Man's a
else?
lot more fun to watch.
It is. And that's what this film lacked. But what else could you stack this up to?
I mean, how do you feel about the tone of the movie if it's supposed to link up with X-Men?
No.
You don't think it works?
No. Also, you know what? They weren't really fantastic.
No. I don't know that I would want these Fantastic Four to be the ones that meet up with the X-Men anyway. Like, they don't... I mean, maybe the Thing and Wolverine in a fight would be cool. That visual might be cool, but I just can't imagine anything else in that movie being interesting. Other than maybe Doctor Doom versus Magneto, because they're both super OP.
Yeah, super. But yeah, before we, go into actual spoiler or whatever, would you recommend this to people?
No.
It's probably fine if you have this film playing in the background whilst doing something when you're not really paying attention to it, but a lot of it, you really wouldn't know what the fuck's going on.
I want to see it HD.
I'd love to see it fully clear.
Yeah, I want to see it in HD where I can see it clearly. And, I think a couple shots of the Thing
Great.
looked really cool.
Yes.
Right before his big punch, because he only really punches once. He only really hits a dude one time.
We see a bunch of the observation footage.
Little shitty clip
Yeah,
things.
they were there.
Why not just blow that up full screen? Let us see the
Because
whole
you could
thing.
see a few at the same time. I don't know.
It was weak, man. Yeah. So I mean,
If you want to watch it, by all means watch it.
I can't recommend.
We're not going to tell you to watch it, but if you actually get curious, go ahead.
Yeah, I think
Go ahead.
if you're bored or if when it comes out for rent, I think go ahead and rent it.
Absolutely.
It's worth renting
Yes.
and checking out this random weird version of the Fantastic
Yeah,
Four that got
an
released.
odd take.
There's a lot of, and really basically the first hour of it is pretty cool. It's pretty solid, and I can see how it very much felt like it felt like a chronicle version of the Ultimate Fantastic Four, which is cool, and I would have been all about that. It just seemed like maybe the studio and the director had very different visions of Doom, and I think that is probably what kind of derailed things in a very similar way to the studio and the fan base having a very different idea of what the Shredder would be in the Turtles movie, and how that
And how we basically got Super Shredder first.
them panicking about Shredder changed that whole movie, and now this movie, them panicking about Doctor Doom, changed that whole movie, and I don't know if that's for the better.
Turtles ain't Fox, is it?
It's not Fox. That's
Nickelodeon. That's right.
But it is a very similar situation.
Yeah.
And I believe it's also a very similar situation to what happened with the Amazing Spider-Man franchise. Both times they put out information. People didn't like that information. They panicked and then started changing shit. And it changed that movie. Like the first Amazing Spider-Man, I think still to this day, was going to have a whole plot line where Peter's dad gave Peter ability, like put this stuff in his DNA on purpose for him to have something in him that would be activated by the spider or whatever. It was like planned instead of being a happenstance situation.
That makes him such a badass.
Yeah, it makes it a very, very different thing. And people didn't like that idea of it being,
that the Parkers or something,
right? And so they panicked and started to kind of fuck with that, and they let it just be a mystery. And then in the second movie, they thought, let's keep going with that mystery thing. That didn't definitely not work out. And then just the pressure of Marvel's putting a universe together, we better do that too. And then just cramming more and more shit in there.
I think this is smarter, dude. What they're doing now.
Yeah.
It's like, you can definitely expand on Spidey's universe.
Yeah.
But now you also have the backing of having some crossover characters. Like they do in the books. Like, I mean, shit, it would not surprise me if Daredevil rocked up in a Spidey film.
It'd be interesting. I don't know about...
Just to have the actor cameo in the background as fucking...
Yeah.
What's his face? Matt Murdock? That's literally a crossover.
I feel like that, they need to do that for Civil War. Like, Matt Murdock needs to be a part of it. At least as the lawyer Matt Murdock.
Exactly. They should. It'd be such a wasted opportunity.
Supposedly he's not part of it, but, we'll see. I also think, bringing in She-Hulk in that way, the Jennifer Walters thing would be cool if they did that. Even, Howard the Duck for that matter. But
that's going a little further, but yeah. But hey, you already rocked up in a film.
Yeah. So basically the movie's not great. So
rent it.
If you really want to check it out, but I definitely can't recommend it. Let's get to the spoiler part. So now's your time to go if you still haven't seen it and you want to see it and you don't want to know anything about it that's real in depth or anything.
And if you've watched reviews already, like spoiler type reviews, you probably would have figured out a lot more stuff.
There was stuff that bothered me right from the get. So if you don't want to know any of that stuff, now's your time to bail. All right, you had your chance. I feel like the first thing that bothered me was the introduction of Franklin Storm and Sue Storm just showing up to a random high school science fair.
Exactly.
For what I can tell is no real reason other than apparently he adopts smart kids. They don't really go into that. Except for somebody, the mole man makes a joke about how he's got an orphanage of kids or something like that. Which is bizarre because he's only adopted one kid.
But he thought that was a clever insult.
It just, it was really bizarre.
No.
But when he shows up there for no reason to look for a teleporter, apparently that he's been working on for a while.
That thing there that you were talking about right now.
Yeah.
I feel that there is so much on the editing floor.
Probably.
I feel there is so much because it feels like when they rocked up there, that they already had hunches about Reed. They went specifically to him. Because, I mean, it's like
that
almost
had to come from somewhere.
Absolutely. But that somewhere might have been scenes that we did not get.
Might have been, but I can only judge them on what they gave us.
Absolutely, and a lot of the times with stuff like that, I basically lay my own assumptions, and if it works for the story, that's fine, because it basically allows me to enjoy the film more than I probably should.
So Reed can teleport things from one place to another and back.
He thought it was teleporting it to like
He thought it was going to China or something, which is bizarre to me. For one, because Reed is supposed to be a super genius. He wouldn't test the soil that he's getting back.
That's what I thought as well. I'm like, you can't be so smart as to not test those as well.
If it's from another dimension, it should be shit we've never seen before. He would go, what is this shit?
Yeah, he just basically scrapped it.
But he's just like, yeah, whatever. I don't know where it goes. I don't know where it comes from. I really don't care.
Took my car.
Right, yeah. It's really weird. Yeah. And then Franklin Storm says, we haven't been able to get anything back. We've only been able to send stuff there.
Yeah.
But we found the same stuff you found.
But we do have, by the way, I forgot to mention, we do get, like, these fucking pebble stuff in return.
He never said any of that shit.
That was probably the reason.
They said, we've never gotten anything back. And then they said, we found the same thing you found right after that.
It's like,
how did you
It's like, oh, the only thing we get from there is, like, rocks. Like, you mean, like these ones?
Right. But had they said the only thing we get back is rocks, that would have been something. But they don't say that. They say we get nothing back. Yeah, and then they said, but we found this.
We found this. Somehow. It's like a shiny rock substance in a tube.
Yeah, and it's apparently the same dirt that he gets back every time. And they said, we've had it tested a bunch of times. No one has any idea what it is. Reed wouldn't have tried that?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's not his field. I don't know.
He's a super genius.
I know, but that's...
He wouldn't go,
what they
I should test where this is coming from. Then I can tell if it's China.
They haven't... No one's going to get Reed Richards right.
Right. Well,
no one yet. It hasn't been done yet, put it that way.
Right.
Because, I mean, to show that he really is a super genius is almost impossible without making him come across as a know-it-all.
Mm-hmm.
Because he literally is a know-it-all. Yeah. Like, he's smarter than Stark. Supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's one of the smartest, if not the smartest, isn't he, in the Marvel?
He's definitely supposed to be up there.
Actually, no, yeah, he is.
Yeah.
The, one of the world's ones, the one that became the all-powerful is...
The ultimate Reed is the one that becomes the villain.
Yeah, the god. I guess the demon, when you think of it, the devil. So, yeah. So yeah, he's supposed to be super genius smart. It's gonna be hard for them to show that.
What did you think of his take on Reed? How he actually acted?
I don't mind. Like, here's the thing. I don't like that actor.
Miles Teller. Yeah.
I don't really like him.
I don't have any real examples of stuff that he's been in to judge him on.
First film I saw him in was that 21. It's supposed to be like a
never
coming
saw
of
21. Never saw Project X. Never saw.
I only saw 21. I think it's 21 and Up or some shit like that.
Yeah, never.
Didn't like him there. He was in the movies that I watched on the plane.
Everybody says Whiplash is tight, but I've never watched
it. That film is dope, but it wasn't really him. It was bloody J. Jonah Jameson. He's a gangster in that film. But yeah. Again, like, I don't really care for him as an actor. He did fine here. Like, he's serviceable as Reed.
He did this thing that I thought was kind of interesting in the beginning of the movie, where his reactions to people talking to him almost were... He would react late to everything, like he was thinking about it for very, very long.
Like he was almost testing out all the...
Right. Which I thought was
the
kind
alternatives,
of interesting.
yeah.
But it's only in the beginning of the movie. At the end of the movie, he's a totally different dude. Weird character.
In the end, right?
Yeah.
How he's talking to the actual sign. Yeah. That part was like, that's like he evolved too quickly in the film. For that.
all the scenes once he's got his own suit randomly that they never explain or anything.
Yeah, I figured he got it made.
He just disappeared from a laboratory naked.
So weird. He wasn't naked, was he?
He was naked.
Oh shit, he was. That's right.
Yeah, he was naked and stretchy, and he vanished, and then just went
He was
off
in the
into
he
the
was in the
world.
pipe. He was in the lines.
But he just went off into the world doing
Yeah.
what?
I don't know.
For a
Researching.
year?
Was it a year? Did they
A
say
year.
like
It
1
says
year later?
1 year later.
Oh shit, that's right.
And then suddenly, like, Doom shows up at the very end. He's been gone. He's been in negative zone for a year as the weird fucking melted suit man.
Yeah. With the lights everywhere.
Doing, like, eating nothing.
Well, no, living off of
Living
the
off
fucking
of just making rocks turn around.
literally living off the raw materials on that planet.
And he has Dr. Manhattan powers or something. Like, they didn't explain.
They didn't explain what the hell
He can
it
explode
was.
your head. He can, like, terraform
Levitate
rocks.
shit.
He's
Yeah,
like
he
an
can throw rocks
earthbender.
at you. He made a giant portal laser from the ground.
He did construct that whole thing.
Yeah, he
in
made
seconds.
he made a Stargate
Yeah, in seconds.
with rocks. It looked like rocks when he was just forming it. And then that's how he was killed.
Yeah. And then, you know, giant laser into space trope.
It was actually a portal to our
Right.
world, a gate.
That sucked up what looked like
Everything.
part of Alaska or something for some reason.
Probably. That scene looked dope.
I mean, it looked cool. It just... I don't have any idea why Victor von Domashev
Which they changed.
was... Well, he was just Victor Domashev, I think, first, and then Victor Von Doom now, which they threw in.
That was so weird as well, because you're like, you knew that was
Yeah,
bloody
that was
thrown in
definitely
after.
added in. But it just seemed like he didn't have any particular motivation for being the most evil man ever in the world. He was just like, first off, when they first even say that he's Doctor Doom, they're like, this motherfucker like burned all your shit and he's fucking up and we definitely shouldn't put him on this. And he's like, nah, I got it. Like, he's the best. Yeah, I need his skills or whatever. Like, it's worth it or whatever.
Yeah.
It's so... I don't understand it. And then,
I kind of feel like, as smart as Franklin Storm is, kind of an idiot.
but then, like, right after that, they're all standing together.
Yeah, they're all buddy.
And then randomly, Victor Domashev was like, Earth's had its chance.
Yeah.
Like,
As Doom, right?
no, when he's still the regular dude. He's like, Earth's had its chance. You know, maybe we should just let it go or like whatever. And I'm like, what the
Which part was
fuck?
this
He's a
again?
psycho. And then Sue's like, oh, Dr. Doom over here. Like,
Oh,
she says it out loud. And I'm like, where does Dr. Doom come from if that character's never existed before? What is that reference to him?
Never. He's a name, and he's a doctor. So they just make a joke out of it. Dr. Doom, because you're gloomy and shit.
It just seemed really bizarre. And where'd all that hacker shit go that they were
I don't
talking
know,
about?
man. This is dumb.
And then they had that weird scene in the beginning where he's all like shaggy and
Yeah.
has like a Google Glass thing on
Yeah,
for some
what was
reason.
that?
Yeah, just to
I had
fucking
no
like
idea.
hang out in his apartment
I
and
had
listen
no
to
idea,
classical
like,
music in the
it was
dark.
In the dark, exactly.
What a fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
And he's like, is Sue gonna be there? I
Yeah,
trust
like
her.
a fucking pervert,
Yeah.
right? He was so creepy.
Yeah, I didn't understand the point of his character at all, really.
Also, you're really ambiguous with the age of these characters.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're supposed to be some sort of teenagers or something.
Late teens, probably.
Because they went to I assume, a high school science fair.
Yeah, had to be.
Conducted
Which was so
by
weird. Why would...
teacher of Doom? Like, why is that teacher an asshole forever? And why does he still have that teacher 7 years later? Like, it's at the beginning of the movie, they look like they're like 12 or 13.
Do they? Because to me,
they look 12 or
okay,
13.
if they were, then awesome. Because
Maybe they were
to
supposed to be
me,
younger,
it looked
but-
like 9 and 10-year-olds.
Maybe that's what it was supposed to
Because
be.
then it
but
said
to me,
7 years later.
That's why I'm confused.
And if it says 7, then I was like, alright, they're like 17 at this point.
Right.
But they work like... How long does it take for them to work on the actual project?
They
A
said they
year.
had
It's got to be a year, right? It couldn't have been a couple of weeks. Bullshit.
You mean them making the big version?
Yeah, yeah.
they did it like instantaneously. Apparently,
They didn't make it instantaneously.
it was months, I believe.
Okay, months.
Because they had a few different of those title cards that would come up and be
They
like, 3
did,
months
but-
later, 2 months later.
So like, I don't know if that's good storytelling, man.
It's telling telling you and not showing you, which is kind
They
of
could have shown it like it's like, oh, I can't believe we've worked on this for like 2 years. It's finally done.
right.
That would have already said like if it were however length.
Right.
But then are they worried that people aren't going to pick up on that? Right?
I don't know what the fuck they were worried about. I don't think they worried about a single thing during the making of the thing. I think afterwards.
But it seems like this film was made twice. It was made once originally. Then Fox went back in and tried to remix it.
right with
Reshoots and and ADR.
Kate Mara wig
Yeah.
and
It was bad.
so forth.
It was bad.
Again, I think it's weird that once they get in their suits that they never take the
Take
suits
it off. Yeah. I just live in this.
and that the thing just is naked.
They don't talk
Which,
about that.
I guess it's fine. He doesn't have a dick, though, so now we know that.
That
And
means he doesn't have to eat.
he doesn't pee, he doesn't eat.
No, doesn't waste nothing.
He apparently just hurts all the time, though,
Yeah.
which is interesting.
Which sucks.
Like, if you don't pee or eat and you're made of rocks, do you feel? Like, why does he have fleshy eyeballs?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
The whole thing
his
is,
eyeballs
the whole
rocks,
thing
too?
is strange.
How about his teeth?
I would
Are they
always
different
go
rocks?
for the eyes. If you're fighting the thing, go for the eyes. That's the
absolutely.
plan.
If you can get him.
I really liked the horror feel of the origin of them.
That's what I
when
was
they
gonna say.
first get back and like Johnny's burning on the
Dude,
thing
yeah.
and he's
Lots of this
thinking
film
he's dead.
was very eerie to me, and I liked it because
Yeah.
it was a very almost really like that whole mystery type vibe. I liked it, and it felt like the horror, like a tinge of horror into it.
Yeah, when they said Cronenberg fly.
I was like, yeah, sweet,
that makes
please
sense
let
to
that
me.
be it, because like when you see Stretchy Man's
Yeah.
first, that was pretty horrific, man. It looked good visually. Some aspects of it, I was like, that was impressive.
A lot more impressive than the old version. Like this version,
Oh.
it had musculature.
Like
and,
way better. That old one was garbage.
Yeah.
This one was like scary.
Yeah, I wasn't sold on how it looked when he fights using the
Yes.
stretchy stuff, so
But
that was weird.
That part looked different. Felt different.
It felt
that
very different
first
than the
scene.
opening. When they first show it, I think that was handled great.
Yeah, I don't know whether it was somebody else. Actually, I read somewhere that Trank found out whilst filming, before he was locked out of the editing room and all that type of stuff, that the lead effects guy was kicked off the show.
Right.
He didn't. He only found that afterwards.
That's
So he
weird,
probably
too.
maybe for all we know, he might have handled that first shot, and then booted it out.
Truth.
Which sucks because honestly, whether or not that was handled by guys who were in the whole film doing it, that first effect of him looked fantastic.
Yeah, I think the first shots of pretty much everybody
Mm-hmm.
was pretty neat, with the exception of maybe Sue, but her effect was just like put like a blue sheen over her real
Yeah.
quick, and then she's invisible.
It was cool how they could just how they're looking at the thing where it shows her like infrared type stuff, but that she's still there.
Yeah, I thought it was weird though, the scene where they show that they're like she can do force fields as well, and she like knocks two of the connexes away
Yeah.
from her. I thought in the trailer, the old trailers, she does like a thing with the force field, and it knocks all of the connexes away from her. Like they all.
We'd have to, maybe.
There's a lot of
stuff in
like the scene from the trailer where the thing like breaks out of the rock.
Yeah, what was that?
That's not in there.
Dude, or just the scene alone where Reed jumps over that thing in that last scene, how they added thing in there.
Right. He was
Random.
definitely not in the early shots.
No way was he there. How flames would change color in some trailers to the next.
Yeah, the lava stuff definitely I feel like was not green in the original trailers. We'll have to go back and look, or maybe I'm insane, but I feel like a lot of stuff changed from those beginning trailers.
All I know is that there was some... there was moments where I was like, this is good, man.
Yeah.
But then it got to a point, like, there was stuff in the start, obviously you've already brought them up, where it was like, that's staying in. That has to stay in.
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, you were saying?
Yeah. Yeah, you were saying that stuff from the start definitely, was lackluster. But it was decent. Like, the first hour was decent. All of a sudden, I'm like, wait a second, there's like 20 or so minutes left, I think. Because it's a short film. It's like 90 minutes.
But that's the last 20 minutes is all you get of Doom.
And it's barely anything. You don't even find out. Like, his silhouette actually looks decent.
His silhouette does.
His silhouette looks decent.
The face on that thing is
But
terrible.
yeah, silhouette.
Right.
Once you see actual
That
detail,
helmet is awful. Like, the suit doesn't even necessarily bother me.
no, the suit looks fine.
The face
it's
looks
face.
awful.
I don't know why they didn't give him that pointy nose or an actual
No,
proper face.
he had a triangle nose for some reason.
It was dumb.
And his mouth was like permanently open.
His mouth was permanently open with his teeth showing.
Right.
Which is weird.
Yeah, I thought that was really
His
bizarre.
eyes as well.
His eyes was kind of interesting. How it like followed green. That was kind of interesting
it was
looking.
weird.
But the face sculpt was terrible.
I feel sorry for
Toby
the actor as
Kebbell's
well.
got a weird face,
He
so
does.
I get that it's probably hard. But just make a full mask. It wasn't like that face emoted.
No,
just
that's
make a
why.
Doom fucking head.
It's almost like they literally just got paper mache.
Right. That's
Got his cast, and then that's it.
terrible.
Drilled holes in the cast. They go, yeah, slap some whatever on there.
It
was not
literally
very good.
just seemed like they accepted whatever concept art they got.
No. Honestly though, I reckon if they ever release like or even in the Blu-ray release, for example, and they show like concept artwork, I reckon some of the Doom concept artwork's gonna be pretty cool looking.
Yeah. I mean, and Toby Kebbell said that might have even been a Doom bot, and we didn't actually see the real Doom. That would be bizarre to me to find out that was the case.
Hope that is not, because
Doom bots
if
are
a Doom
super
bot, I was
OP.
gonna say, if that was a Doom bot, how powerful is Doom? Or is Doom only powerful because he can create things of greater power?
Right, I don't know, man. It's fucking weird. It's fucking weird. So yeah, the long and the short of it to me, man, is that just the movie is kind of fine in a time where it's not okay to be just kind of fine as a superhero movie anymore.
You have to be good
because there's so many of them. You either have to be good or just don't even fucking bother.
don't bother. And there are some that are good that still fail.
Yeah.
So shit, and if you're crap, don't expect to succeed there.
I'm very curious to see what Josh Trank's original cut is, because he says he has a fantastic version of this movie.
I'd love to see it. And the thing is, like, that's the thing. Once it was done, I was like, dang, I kind of wish, I do wish to see what he originally did. Kind of like what we were talking about with Turtles before. I'd love to see what that original film would have ended up like. Just to know what it would do to stand up against what we got.
Yeah.
And which would you prefer at that point, you know?
My only thing is, like, if they ended up putting out the Trank cut.
They never will.
If they did, they put it on Blu-ray. And people like it.
Yeah.
Do you think they would retroactively go back and do
No.
that as the official version?
No, Fox is, as a studio, they've got too much pride.
They put out Rogue cut.
Yeah, but that's not the canon.
Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't.
Nah, they got too much pride for that.
My only thing on why they wouldn't is because I
It's
think
admitting that they fucked up.
and because they only did the Rogue cut because that movie was already incredibly popular.
Exactly. It made so much
It was a way to
money.
make a bunch more money.
Exactly. And then they're going to release the Rogue cut on Blu-ray as a special edition.
But right now, the way things are, that Fantastic Four might come out with like no special features on it because they don't want to spend any more money on
Who
that.
knows if it even comes out on Blu-ray?
It'll come out on Blu-ray.
The cheapest form, which is like the movie.
It costs them nothing to.
Yeah, and a couple of trailers.
Yeah.
Trying to sell other movies that did well.
Yeah. Basically.
Or like the Terminator movie, which didn't do well either.
Which I also did not see.
Yeah, again, with that one, if you feel like watching it, just watch it, man.
But yeah, does that pretty much sum up your feelings on Fantastic
Yeah, it
Four?
had great. I think it had moments that could have been that had the potential to be fantastic.
Clobbering time was so ridiculous.
That was so.
But how it looked when he threw that punch,
Awesome.
looked really dope.
Thing
And
was
when he
actually
first came out of the shadows and revealed himself, and he
that
was
was
like,
sick.
he was like, "So what's the plan?" or
Yeah,
whatever.
I
That
think
looked fucking rad.
There's moments I was like, "Dang, Thing is cool, man."
But it looked to me like they were looking at the Marvel Knights covers that McNiven did of the Thing. It's a lot of like stark shadows and him coming out of it.
But that's the best thing. That's the best way to
cool.
depict him.
Very, very cool.
Human Torch looked dope.
Human Torch looked cool. Yeah, I didn't have any problems with
He
that.
looked like Sunspot for the most part, though.
Kinda, but you know, flaming guy.
Yeah,
what
it's
are
a
you
fire.
gonna do?
What are you gonna do exactly? Reed's
he said
effects.
flame on.
It did. Flame on.
They
That's
worked
like a
it
thing.
into a thing.
It's fine. Whatever. Mr. Fantastic's stretchy. Looks great at the start, and then bits and pieces look weird.
Yeah, everybody's powers for the most part look fine. They did a lot of like Sue flying people around in her bubble thing.
Yeah, a lot.
There was a shot in the trailers that I didn't see of her and Jonny flying together and like blasting through rocks and stuff together. But it was her flying solo with just like a bullet kind of force field around herself.
Sick. She's really useful.
Yeah, she's
like clearly one of the most useful people in the team.
Right, she's one of the strongest characters in the comics.
Yeah, makes sense.
But yeah, so for me, unless you guys have questions about the movie in particular, like you've seen it and you want to know our opinion on A or B, feel free to let us know. But I think that pretty much sums up my feelings on that.
Drop a message on the YouTube page or
on the YouTube page, on the Podbean, on the any of it.
Or even email us.
Yeah, definitely keep emailing us. We'll have to.
Which I forgot to do.
To check.
Yeah,
we'll have to keep checking it out. Speaking of things to check out, we don't have a bunch of stuff to recommend, but we do have one thing. Lil Dicky's professional rapper album came out, and it is definitely worth giving a full album listen.
Absolutely.
If you have the time and you have something to work on, pop it on the backgrounds on Spotify.
I might buy the CD.
I want to get the actual CD just so I could say I participated in this, dude. So that
I'll continue listening to it on music. Like Spotify because it's easy. Or I'll probably just like rip it.
Yeah.
For myself.
Yeah.
But buy it or listen to it if you can.
But it's a solid album. If you like hippity hop music and you have a sense of humor,
it's definitely
give it a go.
Like he's not joking about either. It's actually just really well written stuff.
The first real track, Professional Rapper, I think is a good introduction to what that album's like. There's an animated music video. I will post it on my Facebook. He's got a few other videos that are also really good. Definitely check him out. He's funny. If you're gonna listen to the album, I recommend Professional Rapper, White Crime, and Pillow Talk. It's like 11 minutes, but it is so awesome to me. It's definitely there's pretty much all of them.
Every song is like, it's hard. Sometimes you'd want to skip over one or two just because you're not feeling it right then.
Right.
Most of the time though, you just let this play.
Yeah, it's a really, really solid one. I definitely recommend it. Give it a listen.
Yep.
And I think that covers everything for episode 19.
Does it? Sweet.
I think that's everything off at least the list of stuff I had written down.
Yeah, cool.
So, well, hopefully, maybe this is a short one.
Maybe it's might be like 50-something minutes. Cool.
We'll see. I'm not sure how long we talked about Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Either way, though.
Plus, there's gonna be some editing, so.
Right, and then we've got episode 20 right around the corner.
Oh snap! Next week. Hopefully. Is it next week? Episode 20?
Yeah, and maybe we can do something cool for that.
Maybe
if we can figure something out. But until then, stay chipper, Chap.
Stay chipper.